Talking up the Auburn Tigers with Benjamin Wolk. You can join him on SEC Country. We have tapped SEC Country considerably over the past few weeks to get a set for SEC spring games. And Benjamin, of course, you specialize in the recruiting aspect of it as well. This was a top 3 class in the SEC, number 12 in the nation, according to the 247 composite. 8 early enrollees that are taking part in spring drills. Just your thoughts about who excites you, who you think may step in, make an immediate impact.
I think it was a solid class for Auburn. I mean, again, it didn't hit that top 10 threshold that a lot of fans generally want. I mean, if you're not in the top 10, a lot of times it feels like it was a failure of a class. I wouldn't necessarily label it that direction. I think Auburn hit a lot of the position groups they really felt like they needed to hit. And then I think the ones that they maybe didn't, they're certainly going to emphasize here in the 2019 class. I think that really you got to look at the secondary. I mean, we mentioned it earlier. They're losing 2 starting safeties from last year, Stephen Roberts and Trey Matthews. They're losing a starting cornerback in Carlton Davis. They had a lot. I mean, they emphasized big time the secondary in the 2018 cycle. And I think Smoke Monday, Jamie and Sherwood, those are a couple of safeties from the 2018 class that they may have to be starting day one for Auburn. They've both impressed a lot this spring, enough so that they have been participating in first-team reps some throughout the spring. And then at cornerback, Christian Tutt from Georgia. Auburn picked him out of the state of Georgia. He was a highly recruited guy, 4-star, was a 5-star at one point throughout his recruitment, and sort of dropped off a little bit throughout the course of his recruitment. I think it was somewhat of a size concern, but Auburn really never wavered in the recruitment of him. They landed him, and now he's someone that has also been getting first-team reps at cornerback. So I think that how those guys play, Smoke Monday, Jamie and Sherwood, and Christian Tutt, will really dictate what this Auburn secondary looks like in the 2018 season. And Saturday will really be the first time that Auburn fans and really media, because we haven't gotten a chance to see scrimmages so far this year, just practices. It'll be a good idea for us to see where they're really at in their progression.
Benjamin, you know better than anyone else, people love recruiting. They can't get enough of it. They almost care more about the recruiting rankings than the actual rankings during the season. We got Benjamin Wolk on the line from SEC Country, so we're going to look ahead to 2019. According to the current commitment board for the Auburn Tigers in 2019, we've got Bo Nix, a dual-threat quarterback, rated number 1 at his position. George Pickens, he's a wide receiver out of Hoover, Alabama, top 25 player at his position. Your thoughts about whether it be these guys or other targets out there that Auburn's zeroing in on?
I mean, couldn't have really started with a better foundation. There might be some concern there. There's only 2 guys committed, and we're already in April. But I think that Auburn's really happy with the foundation that they have. Bo Nix is the only quarterback they offered in the 2019 class. He's an Auburn legacy. His dad played for Auburn in 1993, undefeated season. There's certainly a reputation there, and getting him in the class early in January this year, they really expect to set the stage for what happens down the line with this 2019 class. He's a state champion. You know, they went 14-0 last year. He really had an impressive season as a junior. His dad is his high school coach. And there's, I mean, he was someone that was sort of hand-delivered to Auburn, but they're obviously thrilled that he ended up in this class. George Pickens is a wide receiver that I expect to really shoot up the wide receiver rankings here. I mean, the Nike opening in Atlanta was last weekend, and he was maybe one of the 2 or 3 best wide receivers out there, I'd say, by pretty much anyone's estimation. He's going to be heavily recruited by a lot of guys, a lot of schools, you know, these next few months. But Auburn feels pretty good about holding on to him. There's a really strong relationship there between Bo Nix and George Pickens. And so, you know, a nice 1-2 punch, quarterback and wide receiver to start. Now you got to start filling out the class from there. Both George and Bo have pretty big personalities. They're the type of guys that are going to be vocal leadership type guys in this class. I think that they expect to see some momentum here starting from the spring game on Saturday. I wouldn't be surprised if they landed a commitment or at least set the groundwork for a commitment in the next couple of weeks.
Bo Nix, son of Patrick. Man, I'm getting old. 1993. Yeah. Yes, I remember it well. Wow. That's this is not something new to continue to hear about these guys that had fathers that played, that I watched and covered, actually, because I was down in Mississippi covering Auburn, Alabama, Ole Miss, Mississippi State at that point. Patrick Nix did a fine job for the Auburn Tigers, won a lot of games, lost very few. So Bo Nix coming along for Auburn. Really good stuff from Benjamin Wolk. You can catch him on SEC Country. As you can hear right here, the insight, the knowledge, the information is outstanding. Benjamin, we appreciate you jumping on board, getting us set for the big Auburn spring game coming up on Saturday.
Awesome, Mark. Thanks. Anytime.